we were not able to complete streaming it. We only were able to stream the first half. So we're going to, better late than never, cast the second half. I am casting with Brewer, who will be my color caster. We're just getting set up here with to go through the pro draft and get into the replays, and then we will be good.
All right, yeah. So excited we finally get to cast the second game. I know everyone's been waiting. Just looking at the pro draft for the second game. Picks and bans seem pretty similar to the first game from last week. Oh, one noticeable change is Broken R Button actually decided to ban the Sejuani, which Anarchy Purple played in game one to pretty good success.
That's true. Anarchy Purple played a pretty heavy team fight comp in game one, as I recall. Had a lot of success with it, and they decided to run that back, this time taking Zach instead of the Sejuani. But looking at the drafts, I think that the team fight execution on Anarchy Purple is really strong with Elastic Slingshot, Call of the Forge God, Crescendo. There's just so much layerable CC on Anarchy Purple's side.
You can't get much better engaged than an Ash R into a Zac engage with the Orianna ball on him. But I actually like a Broken R Button's draft as well. I think the set and the Nunu both have a lot of potential to just let Misfortune get a very big ultimate off.
That's true, and there's a good amount of disengage with Set ulting a tank back out of the fight, the Nami tidal wave, and even Nunu with his absolute zero. So Broken R Button does have ways to stymie the engage from Anarchy Purple if they do it right.
Right, a good time Nami arc always just stop the Zac right in his tracks. I am interested to see. I think overall the drafts are pretty nice. I do like the Broken R Button actually went for the Xerath though. I think that's not a bad blind pick, especially, and I think getting into Orianna ends up being a pretty good matchup. He does have the range on her, and I think lots of times these team fights will come down to how much poke he can actually get down before the fights start, because I think from full HP, you are looking at Anarchy Purple as having a pretty strong team fight.
Yeah, and that's always the question with Xerath. In a pure, like, theoretical burst combo, he's beaten by most other mages, but he has such range that you never start the fight with full HP. So can Broken R Button use that range to make sure that Anarchy Purple is always at 80%, 60%, even lower, and so they're not in a position to engage, or they're just too vulnerable to get blown up if they do engage.
Yeah, certainly. I think a lot of this will come down just to how well each team can get set up before they actually start the team fights. I think once the team fights start going, they'll be pretty explosive.
Yeah, so let's get into game. I'm at 10 seconds on the replay. Let's just get ready to count it down.
Okay, give me 1 sec. Alright, I'm also at 10 seconds.
All right, so teams are getting out onto the rift. Looks like they're just gonna scatter for the 5 point.
Yeah, I think that's pretty standard here. I mean, you could see a little bit of an invade maybe, but neither team has just that perfect level 1 CC that I think you usually call for.
I think my team has a close to 100% record of giving first blood on invades. So every time that someone starts posturing for an invade, I'm always like, guys, historically this does not go well for.
I'd say my team's actually on the other side of that, but we only do it when we have, the Morgana, the Nautilus, something like that, where it's hard to see it not working out at least partly good in your favor.
So a ward did go down in the tri-bush on the side of Anarchy Purple, which notably is going to tell them if the blue side bot lane has leashed, or at least give them a hint, because if Misfortune and Nami come through that bush, it's a pretty sure bet that they leashed for the Nunu and weren't just faking the leash.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I'm expecting both junglers to get a bot side leash, probably clear towards their top side. I think you could probably both see junglers looking for an early gank top lane maybe this game. Maybe some action in the early Scuttle Crab on the top side. It will be interesting to chart the early paths, 'cause I think both these junglers, especially Nunu, can get some pretty sneaky ganks early.
Yeah, Nunu ganks are kind of like Rammus and Hecarim. They're in that category of ganks where even if you see it coming, you can still get hit by it because they're just so fast.
Oh, certainly. Especially when you don't have very much mobility on the likes of a Oriana. If he gets a good, comes behind her, she will struggle.
Cephas is using the Arcano Pulse very effectively to trade in the mid lane. One advice I've given people when playing against a Xerath or another champion with really high poke is don't stand in the wave, because that way you force Xerath to choose between poking you and clearing the wave, and he'll have to choose which he wants to do more, and that depends on the player. But good trade with him of Valor going down the bot lane.
Yeah, I like the idea of that, but Xerath is getting the early shove.
And he's going to drop a ward on the red side Raptors, so he'll know that Zach has not cleared them yet. Zach did do a full blue side clear, and looking for a gank mid now. He's looping around, and that's not warded, and Xerath's wards are down, so an Elastic Slingshot could very easily secure this.
Yeah, I'd like to see this. Doesn't want to give it away.
Zach's going in.
Yep.
He gets the stretching strikes down. There's going to be a lot of good damage going down onto Cephas. They don't secure the kill, but he's forced to burn. Oh, he doesn't actually burn the potions.
Holds his summoners. Yeah, holds his summoners. Looks to use one potion, but I think either way there, you take that.
Now, yeah, he does have the heal compared to the teleport from Creek. However, I think that is in Creek's favor because, invading the top side, Zach's being chased off. He gets the stretching strikes down. Nunu's already burned the consume, but he'll successfully chase Zach off the red buff. The Ornn is rotating in. Bella's breath comes out. He gets hit by the biggest snowball. He's doing a lot of damage with the Grasp the Undying, so Nunu's forced to disengage, and Zach will secure his red buff. No, okay, he's going to back off, I think, and recall. Because there would be the risk that Xerath could try to steal it.
Yeah, in the end, no actual loss of life. I actually would have potentially liked to see Creek actually look for a teleport to get back to lane faster.
Exhaust onto the knock.
Yep. Lots of scrapping going down in the bot lane as well.
Yeah, when you have an Enchanter versus Enchanter lane, mana management is huge. Good face breaker, knuckle down, and he gets the Haymaker sweet spot in top lane. Mr. Feechai is building a CS lead. He's pushing the Ornn around. Oh, another Elastic Slingshot in. But Nunu's caught. He's at low HP. Yep. He's going to have to snowball on out of here. Can I get another time check just for a second? There we go. We were a few seconds ahead.
To escape.
Yes, Nunu does make it out. He's going to go back into his top lane. Zach is already backed. Didn't have gold to buy anything, but I actually think that this is going to work out in favor of respective Bigfoot and Anarchy Purple, because for having a weaker early game jungler in the Zach, they've managed to not lose any camps, and Nunu's only about one camp ahead.
Right. I mean, usually you'd expect to even be more than one camp ahead. So I think if you're Zach right now, you're pretty happy with how this early game is going.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty even lanes across the board. Misfortune got the nice shove, as you would kind of expect, looking for a ward, maybe a back. I'd like to see her back because she can always go for that multiple Doran's Blade build, which can give her the big advantage.
Mm-hmm. Both mid laners have backed. I think that Creek backed earlier, but didn't use his TP because he only has the Amp Tome, whereas Cephas also has a Sapphire Crystal to help him stay in lane a little longer.
Right, that's what's big about, even though that original gank mid lane didn't get a kill, didn't get a summoner, it let Creek get that early back off to get a bit of an advantage, not have to use his teleport early, and you're kind of seeing that work out now, but ooh.
Right as the Arcane's going to come down, forces the flash out of Creek. I don't know if he needed to flash there. I think it would have taken Nunu too long to get the root on Snowball fight, but he decides to play it safe, and with TP, he can get back to lane very quickly.
Yeah, it's a respect flash. Better safe than sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Especially because as Oriana, you're kind of a mid-game spike champion, so you're just looking to get to the early game without too much issue.
Certainly. Oh. But with getting that back off, they can move right down towards the dragon.
Yep, so we have 3 on Dragon. Misfortune is coming up, so Broken R button do have the positioning advantage. Zach's an excellent steal champ, but he's not going to be in time. He's going to get hit by the snowball. Probably going to be forced into the cellular division here. But Sona claims first blood on the Nunu, and now it's just a disengage. They force Zach into his passive, but Ocean's Andrew goes down for it. So first drag is nice, but I don't know if a first air drag is worth giving over first and second blood. And notably, Ash got one of those kills, and Sona bought Dark Seal on her first back, and now has 3 stacks on it. So she's getting 9 ability power. I think it's about 4 or 5 stacks where Dark Seal becomes very cost efficient.
Right, and Ash getting that kill is big, especially because with Misfortune dying, they do get a chance to shove it in.
Excellent use of the Bellows Breath in top lane, denies the showstopper. Ornn is unstoppable, so he cannot be grabbed. Elastic Slingshot in secures the red buff for Anarchy Purple.
Bubble lands, but they should just be able to get out for free. I mean, that's pretty good around the board right there. And yeah, it's one of the things about the Set matchup that I think it's a pretty good matchup for Set in the fact that, you can always land the big ultimate with Ornn throwing him back onto his team, but that Ornn does have the counterplay with the W, which I think is a nice little...
Yeah, in my experience, Set's good into most tanks, but Ornn I would say is moderately bad. It's not the worst. But I'd say it's a credit to Shadow Claws because he's 2 CS down, despite being pressured pretty hard. Gank coming in the mid lane. The biggest snowball ever is coming in. Yeah, there's a 3-man here. Creek has no flash. He's going to go down. Shadow Claws TP's in to try to save his mid laner, but he's a little too late.
Yeah, bit of a burnt TP, but they're not going to stop the Ornn anytime soon, so we can at least get the wave, make sure that gets shoved in, someone gets the minions for them.
Mr. Fisheye does need to go back here, though. He's sitting on 2,000 gold, and just having all that money doesn't do anything for you if you don't spend it. So, whereas Ornn has spent his items and can buy away from base, Set needs to go back and actually use that money to start getting some item. I wouldn't. I think the Bork Cleaver build would be really good here because there's 2 big tanks on the side of Anarchy Purple that you want to be slapping.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think that build's kind of risen in popularity after the Blade of the Rune came.
It's pretty nuts. Big bullet time. Flash crescendo out of the Sona. Cleanse, but not enough damage with the volley coming out of the axe. They're going to run down with the Frost Shot. There's the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, and that is a second kill for Nico Nya. Showstopper in the top lane. The gank on the Set, but on the Ornn, but he's really tanky here. Command Protect's going to come out. Elastic Slingshot in. Zach gets the Stretching Strike. That's going to take down Mr. Fisheye. They're going to run down the Ornn. Let's Bounce is going to try to get some damage onto the Xerath, but he's stuck in the wrong position. He's going to manage to trade back onto Shadow Claws, but he's going to be run down here with the slow. Good Arcana Pulse damage, but not enough in the end, and that is a 3-for-1 trade in the favor of Anarchy Purple. Ornn is just too tanky at this point, and Mr. Fisheye didn't have enough items. They didn't manage to confirm the kill before the Zac and the Orianna could rotate up. And then they just run them down because Zac has so much CC, the chase potential with the speed boost, and slows out of the command dissonance. And while Ornn does fall in the end, he picks up a kill and an assist doing it, and he's got his full Sunfire. And it looks like Set is building Tiamat, and when you're playing a Bruiser, if the tank gets Sunfire before you get your first item, it feels so bad because you do no damage to them.
Certainly, and notably, right before that 3-for-1 in the top lane happened, the bot lane play that we saw did happen as well, and I mean, Ash 3 kills now, just picked up the Trinity Force. I mean, that's a giant power spike when you're going that build. Misfortune on the Caulfield still, so bot lane, it's looking pretty tough for Misfortune right now.
So I want to check in, yes. So Nico Nya did this last game, did run the approach. Bullet time comes out. They're trying to get Nico Nya out, but it's not enough. Ocean's Andrew does claim the shutdown, which is really key.
That's big.
That bonus 350 gold went to the AD.
Yeah, it's a great job by Nunu, like recognizing maybe in that isolated 2v2, it does look pretty rough for the Misfortune, but I mean, Nunu showing up with a good Nami catch, with a good CC, can always, man, 3v2 at any point with a bullet time's always going to be in your favor.
Mm-hmm. Oh, stretching strikes in. Command Shockwave is enough burst, and Cephas goes down. Just a clean gank from out of vision.
Yeah, this is a nice game. They're trading blows back and forth across the map. Both teams looking pretty proactive.
The issue there is that even though he did have a ward in the Bosshead River, the Elastic Slingshot's range is long enough at this point that Zac can come from beyond your ward range very easily. And they're going to be rewarded with an Ocean Dragon for their troubles. So we are going to have an Infernal Soul, which would make the AoE burst just absolutely crazy out of Anarchy Purple. Looks like they're setting up for a bot lane dive here.
Yeah, whichever team gets this Infernal Soul, if it lasts that long, would be feeling very, very good.
So I think Nami and Misfortune recognize they're probably about to be dove, but Nami's walking back up to the turret. I think they probably need to surrender this.
Yeah,
but we are squaring up for a 4v4.
Set does have teleport. If he
the Elastic Slingshot's off the mark. Oriana's forced to flash out. Zac's going to be CC chained under the tower here with the root from Snowball Fight. Crescendo comes out, but I don't think it's going to be enough to save the jungler. No. Absolute Zero, okay, so, and Oriana does go down. Bullet Time comes out to further push them off, so the gank just goes real bad for Anarchy Purple, and they give up two kills, one of which was a shutdown on the Oriana, and Zac loses his passive, the Cellular Division. So he's not going to have that to make his later engages that much easier.
Yeah, the setup on that play was looking kind of rough for them at first, but I mean, they did a great job bringing people down, waiting for their moment, and then, kind of outplaying the dive.
All the Forges coming out in top lane. And there's the clap. The Brutal Auto does enough damage, and Shadow Claws, he gets a kill, a solo kill on top.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it feels bad when he already has that Sunfire cape and he's still building components. It's going to be a tough fight.
Yeah, now he's working on what I would assume is a Trinity Force. I'm not a fan of that here. I think he needs a cleaver one way or another because there's two big tanks, and Triforce on set is just not going to be enough damage to get through them. You need that shred. Plus, the shred will enable your Misfortune really well.
Especially when you're already a little bit behind, Triforce can be a hard item to get.
Zac was looking for a gank in the mid lane. He's going to get low. Right of the Arcane's going to come out. They're going to chase the kill.
TP's coming through.
Expected Bigfoot's very low, but he is going to slingshot out. Mr. Fisheye gets the combo. Oriana's forced to stopwatch here, but should fall. Flash from the set, which I don't think was necessary. Showstopper pulls him back. He's going to flash out. Walks out of the bullet time, but Shadow Claws is going to be run down here. Finzel does claim the kill, I think with the consume there. Mm-hmm. So, a good gank attempt, but they take too much damage from trying to dive the tower, and they get caught out with the teleport investment.
Right, the TP not getting used earlier and the bot lane dive play where they ended up not needing it paid off there and let Set kind of get to that fight.
But notably, Oriana does have TP to get back to the mid lane, so she's going to be able to defend the tower. Broken R button are looking towards the Rift Herald. Zeros going to try to wave clear bot, but they're still going to get some good damage on this tower, I think.
Yeah, I like the call to look for the Rift Herald. You are a little bit behind if you are Broken R button right now, so you're looking for a way to get back in, and a good Rift Herald play is always a easy way to get back into the game.
Yeah, because a dragon is a stat buff, but a Rift Herald is functionally gold. So they can use that to try to knock down tower, and first tower hasn't gone down.
I think that's a good decision by Anarchy Purple to, not look for a 3v4 around the Rift Herald, just back off, let them get it, because their bot lane is
Flash Crescendo from the Sona. They're going under tower for Cephas. He's exhausted. Uwanika does have the rundown. Good trade of aggro from the Sona, and just decisive play there of, we can kill this Zeroth. Let's do it, because now they should be rewarded with first tower if there's no TPs available on the side of Broken Arm.
And that's big, especially after they just picked up the Rift Herald, which you would think usually means that their team would be getting the first tower. So I like the no hesitation for that dive. I mean, when you have the Crescendo and the Ash ultimate, if you land one of them.
Mr. Fisheye tries to bait, but he is the one who's baited, and he goes down to Shadow Claws. Bullet Time comes out, does disengage the bot lane, but they've already taken first tower on the side of Anarchy Purple, so that's a little extra gold in their pocket, and what was a 1k gold lead is now about 3.5k.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice little attempt there at the end to kind of get something back. Ash does have to blow the heal, but ultimately they weren't able to catch. I think the next big objective is definitely going to be around this dragon that's coming up soon. I would like to
Yes.
see, I would like to see both teams fight over it. I think even though they are a little bit behind, I think if they can find the correct team fight with a good set ultimate into a good misfortune ultimate, it's very winnable for them, even at the gold deficit.
And this is an issue for Broken R Button because Nunu is topside. He's shown topside. He's now rotating to Dragon, but he's sitting on almost 3,000 gold. He doesn't have his Cinder Hulk. He doesn't have the start of another item, whereas Zach does. So he's just not going to be at putting out as much pressure. Okay, he did back,
Right.
but that's going to give Anarchy Purple the window to start this Dragon.
Right. And
Pulling out of the pit.
Yeah. Doesn't look like, yeah, with misfortune backing as well, it looks like they decided just to concede, whether off doing that or just realizing, oh, it might be a little too late once they realized the Nunu hadn't backed yet.
Alright, this is going to be a little difficult for Shadow Claws. He gets the Demolish proc. Oh, there is so much damage from the Bellows Breath. Showstopper comes out, but Mr. Fisheye is trying to run. He's going to be slowed. Gets the Knuckle down, but he doesn't have Haymaker available. Shadow Claws does not have the Flash. He's looking for the Volcanic Rupture. And there, the Grasp auto after the Haymaker shield is enough to secure the kill. Stretching Strikes and Crescendo and Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Ocean's Andrew managed to flash out with the Cleanse, but the Cinder Hulk and Let's Bounce are enough to confirm the kill. Germproof's going to try to trade with the Nami, but Nunu snowballs in a little too late here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's action all over the board still. I think the top lane fight just showed it was close for a minute there. I thought for a second Set might actually be able to turn it once he did land a nice W and did get the ultimate, but still just sitting on components, it's hard to see him having the damage to just break through that Ornn completely.
And that's one of the issues. I find that the mid game can be a little bit of an awkward period for Set when I play him because your cooldowns are still pretty long and you don't have incredible sustained damage yet. So characters with a lot of sustained damage can sort of absorb the Haymaker and then just keep slapping you because Haymaker's.
Yeah, Haymaker.
It's a 10-second cooldown here, so maybe twice a fight if it's long enough.
Yeah, and I think right now, I mean, you're looking at about a 5k gold lead in Anarchy Purple's favor, and the nice thing about when you draft a team comp like this is if you're in the lead, I mean, it's no problem just finding a Zac slingshot. He can do it over and over again, looking for the Ashe ultimate, looking for, oh, there goes.
Yeah, and the Enchanted Crystal Arrow is off the mark. They're pressuring mid. The Rift Herald went down in bot, but Zac's able to answer that. They're looking for the mid tower, but with the wave cleared, they won't get much damage as the backdoor protections do come in.
Yeah, I like the call for the arrow, even though it does end up missing ultimately. You know, you want to break down this turret because after they've gotten both turrets in the side lane, if they can break down this mid turret, the map starts to really just become theirs, and it's going to be hard for Broken R Button to even look through the jungle.
And notably, Niku now took Ultimate Hunter and has 20% CDR. That's a 63-second Ashe arrow. And if it's the same as last game, oh, Bigfoot's caught out here. Going to be rooted by the snowball fight. Good damage coming out of the Misfortune. He's forced into the cellular division. Absolute Zero is channeled. The teleport from Ornn is going to save his jungler. Zac's going to fall after coming out of the passive. The tidal wave comes out. Crescendo's already been used. Bullet time hits no one. Showstopper into the back line. Set's trying to run down the mid and support, but he's already expended most of his cooldowns, and he's now out of position. Ornn is just tanking up everything. The Searing Charge is going to be off the mark. Zera fires off the right of the Arcane. They're looking to chase on these low health members, but they just can't quite get the damage. Demolish proc will take out the turret. They're trying to disengage on the blue side, but in the end, it is a 1-for-1 trade. Set goes down in return for Zac, and mid tower does go to Anarchy Purple. So they get some gold back on the side of Broken R Buttons, which is good because Set is not worth very much gold at this point. But the loss of the mid objective is definitely going to hurt them.
Yeah, I mean, when you're down gold, a 1-for-1 is something you're going to be looking for. Losing the mid turret does hurt them, and it does allow Anarchy Purple to really just start expanding on the map, really start pressuring it. I want to see how they start advancing their vision, because if you start advancing the vision, it's very hard to walk into a jungle where you don't know if Orianna's sitting in the bush with Shockwave or if an Ash arrow is about to fly out towards your face.
Yeah, the issue for Broken R Button now is that when they're going in the dark sides of the map while there's a Zac, they always have to act like someone's taking aim on them. Oh, the Enchanted Crystal Arrow is off the mark. It almost hits Extra Ho, but the fancy feet on the mermaid get her out of danger. Do you know that if you search hat for Nami, it brings up boots? Because presumably, with no feet, that's where she's got to wear the boots.
I like that. Yeah, I mean, just once again, another missed Ash arrow, but I mean, you miss all the shots you don't take, and I love like he's looking for him, like he's throwing them when he has them, when he sees someone, because sooner or later one of them will land, and a pick could easily turn it at this point to the next dragon or a tower, things like that.
Yeah, and that's a 52-second Ash arrow cooldown. He's got a Caulfield's Warhammer. Like, it really costs Nico Nyan nothing to just fire these off because the cooldown's so low. Once he has Essence Reaver, that's going to be full 40% CDR, mana restore, so he doesn't even care about the mana expenditure. They're posturing around Dragon. This is going to be third, so it will be Soul Point if Anarchy Purple takes it. Oh, they're waving the Death Brush. They've dropped the ward. Crescendo's on the mark, hits Misfortune, she's forced to cleanse, but so much damage. Creek goes down to the showstopper. Ornal is coming out, but he doesn't get the redirect. Seth's being machine gunned down, he's forced to flash out. They're trying to get Nico Nya. Does go down to the Xerath. Xerath's just in the middle of three people. I don't know if that's where we want to be. Cephas is trying to retreat, gonna get hit by the Elastic Slingshot. Flashes out of the Searing Charge, but the Stretching Strikes does claim the kill. Seth gets the Face Breaker, but the Haymaker shield isn't very large, and he goes down to the Brittle Auto from Shadow Claws, and that is a 4 for 2 in favor of Anarchy Purple, and with their jungler alive and Nunu down, they're going to easily claim this Infernal Drag. Yeah. They don't even need Seth. He's going to push mid and just get the Demolish proc. Yep, get that big bang on the tower. Trades a little with Extra Ho, but he's not really in danger from this Nami here.
No, I mean, that was looking like a really good team fight at first for Broken R Button. I mean, I think they did a great job recognizing, they might be sitting in a bush. They did a good job sticking together as a team, kind of not face checking, got that ward. Once they saw it, they didn't hesitate to jump on them. And I thought for a second Ash was going untouched to that fight, but then Xerath landed just a massive Q that just almost killed Ash outright. And at that point, you're thinking, well, this has to be a one fight. But, I mean, you just see they don't have the damage to really even tickle the Zac or the Ornn.
I think it's not just the damage, it's that the front line is so fed on the side of Anarchy Purple compared to yes, Xerath is 7-4, but you've got an 06 Set who's got 200 health out of Phage and Ninja Tabby. You've got a 1-3 Nunu who's got a Dead Man's, he's got a lot of health and some armor, but the issue you have here is that even after the carries go down, Creek goes down to a really good combo, Nico Nya goes down to the Xerath, without Xerath killing the squishies, the front line isn't tanky enough on the side of Broken R Button. And so in that slap fight, Nunu's going to get hit by a long-range Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but he has Merc Tread, so he's going to be able to walk out of it after only a little bit of poke. But yeah, Nico Nya just pinged us another 30 seconds until the arrow. The arrow cooldown is lower than Death Timers at this point. This is a disgusting Ash build.
And I think at this point you have to start wondering, do we need to start building a Quicksilver Sash? But the concern with that is we're already struggling hard enough to kill the tank, so we need to build more damage to have a chance.
Yeah, and Ocean's Andrew has Cleanse, but Cephas doesn't want to build QSS because, look at the Crescendo onto the set, and before Haymaker Shield comes out, he's down. Huge Call of the Forge got into Let's Bounce, forces the flashes out of the Nunu and the Nami. Follow up with the Elastic Slingshot, but Extra Ho is going to go down here to Germ Proof. Nunu's channeling the Absolute Zero, but it's interrupted by a Command Shockwave. Nunu's caught under the tower here, and the beefy boys are just tanking all day. The burly men don't care about towers.
No, I mean, that was a great job. Just they face checked you when you're taking the Baron. Just don't even hesitate. Just jump on them. And it's easy to do when you have an excellent Ornn ulti. You have the Zac. I liked Orianna flanking there at the end to find a Shockwave over the wall that they weren't expecting. I mean, it's just they're doing a great job using their abilities to just force these fights.
To be honest, I like the Bramble Vest off of the side of Zach because, excuse me, between set passive, Nunu, the Navi, there is a good amount of healing on the side of Broken Arbud. But I'd love to see him build Spirit Visage. It's a core item on Zach, gives him CDR, more healing, and magic resist. And like Xerath is never going to kill you if you have a Spirit Visage. It's just not going to happen. Big snowball coming in. They're going to get a knockabout of the Ori, but Bullet Time's going to come out just to clear the wave. Oh, big showstopper from the set. He's looking for the Facebreaker shield, but he's bursted down in the CC combo without being able to get Haymaker off.
Yeah, that was a nice like ultimate by the set. I thought if he could land an E and a W right there, it'd be a little bit
closer. Elastic slingshot into the command. Shockwave explodes the backline. Nami goes down during the crescendo. Zach doesn't even fall here. They're looking for the chase on Misfortune. They're going to get the call to Forge God. And there's the smack from Ornn. And that is an ace on the for nothing on the side of Anarchy Purple. They're pushing it on the inhib. And they should be in
this should be the end. Yep. Set's coming up in 5, but don't think he'll have a way to stop them.
There were like 2 good team fights from Broken Arbud, but this was a decisive win for Anarchy Purple. The team comp worked together. They attacked the side lanes very effectively with strong team fight and skirmish wins in top and bot. Mm-hmm. And then just the chain CC, the chase down potential was absolutely crazy out of Broken Arbud. Like, I want to highlight Nikina against 6-2 and 13 on the Ashe, 40% CDR, approach velocity. Nikina spent 2 minutes, 129 seconds with the bonus movement speed from approach velocity, plus the slow, plus the movement speed from phase. Like, this is an absolute rundown build from Ashe. And if you let this free fire on you, you're dead. Doesn't matter who you are, because you will never escape unless you have some way to go over a wall.
Right, I mean, it was hard for them to even try to touch the Ashe. I mean, that kind of the only option. There was the one fight where Xerath landed some key abilities on her to take her down, but I mean, if he's not finding that long range, I mean, the Ashe is just going untouched because no one can break through that front line.
Yeah, so really, they needed the front line to not be as bad as it was, and without, like, they had one good fight where Xerath had the reach to get the damage out without putting himself in danger, but then he ends up surrounded by 3 people, and they're just not able to finish off the fight once they have killed the squishies because they can't kill the tanks. So great game to Anarchy Purple. Unfortunately, we're not able to cast it when it was live, but they start their first week 2-0. I'm not sure what their second week was, but we'll probably be casting that over the next few days, and I think we're going to get set up for our second VOD of the day.
Yeah, great game to both teams. Looking forward to hopefully getting to see more out of them.